Hello, and thank you for attending this Jetpack user training. This training has been compiled by Dr. Lori Yates, Director of Accreditation, and I am Andrea Cummings, the Operations and Compliance Coordinator. The most important thing that we want you to understand about the Jetpack system is that it has been completely customized for the ICBE accreditation process. So if you've already logged in, you will notice that there is limited information for your institution, and that is by design. So as of right now, the only page accessible to you is the institution account details, which you'll see in just a moment. We thought the easiest way for everyone to get accustomed to the system is to launch it in phases and get used to it as we open up more activities. So let's get started. As a reminder, your users should be your point people for all accreditation and compliance activities. So these are going to be your people who are going to answer questions from your ICBE accreditation liaison. They should feel comfortable entering the outcomes assessment plan and the self-study and the application for reaffirmation. So these people are really going to be your hands-on accreditation people. You will notice when we go into the system that there are some fields that are editable and some that are not. The reason for that is the editable fields do not have any bearing on your accreditation with the ICBE. So for example, your president can change and it will not affect your accreditation. We have uneditable fields such as your users, and the reason for that is because the ICBE staff will need to grant access to those folks. Your institution name, your membership status and accreditation standing, your member status page, all of these items will be updated by ICBE staff, as well as your dues and your finance information. How do you change the uneditable fields? So we will show you that in just a moment, but as of right now, we still ask you to navigate to the ICBE website to complete a compliance form for a change in contact for your member lead, your member contributor, and your member observer. Also your finance contact, if you have an institution or an academic business unit change, and the reason for that is we would need to go in and update your member status page. So if you make those changes without us knowing, we wouldn't be able to trigger those activities on our end. As of right now, you cannot add a program, but we do anticipate being able to open up that function very soon. However, you will always need to come to the ICBE website to terminate a program. The reason being is because we need to make sure that we're recording certain historical information regarding programs that have been accredited with your institution. So again, this is a phased launch. Any schools who are applying for candidacy right now will be using the Jetpack system. Anyone submitting an interim quality assurance report for November 1st of 2025 will be able to use the Jetpack system. And then we anticipate certainly by January that all schools will be able to enter annual reporting in the Jetpack system. For now, if you need to submit those items, if you're ready with your IQAR or your annual reporting, you can still use the website forms. But if you're able to hold off, we really do ask you to be brave and utilize this Jetpack system. Reason being is because once it's entered into the Jetpack system, it will be there for years to come. So not only will you be able to refer back to it next year, but the ICBE will be able to start compiling those reports that our members are asking for, such as, retention rates, graduation rates from school to school. So we really encourage you to get in there as soon as you can and start using it. So let's log in. Okay, so once we're in the Jetpack system, we're going to navigate over to this large blue toolbar on the left-hand side. We're going to click Institutions, My Institution, and then where Sample University pops up, you will see your institution's name. So you'll click on that in order to enter your institution's details. Again, as of right now, this is the only tab that you can see, but as we move forward, you will have tabs lining the top of the page. Again, institution name, membership status, accreditation standing. you are unable to edit those items, your liaison will edit those for you. Speaking of liaisons, your liaison that has been assigned to your institution will always be available on the Jetpack system. A lot of times we get phone calls, people do not know who to reach out to with accreditation questions. You will now have access to that. You'll have their email as well as their direct line to reach them. Of course, this is our sample page, so we do not have it linked up, but this is where your member status page will be linked. And that is where all of your accredited programs are listed. So you'll have handy access to that when you start with your annual reporting. Again, as you can see, you are unable to edit these fields. We have 4 in here just because we've been running some tests on this sample institution, but you will have your member lead, your member contributor, and your member observer. And in order to edit those, again, we do need to provide that access on our end. So you'll want to navigate to the ICBE website and changes in contact information, and you've got your member lead, your contributor, and your observer, who's the read-only access person. Also your finance contact, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Scrolling down again, we've got some accreditation dates that your liaison has updated for you. Your IQAR year will always be handy. And here's our first editable field. You'll see that the physical address is an editable field. You can make your changes. And again, always hit that save button. That's the most important thing to remember in this system, is that you're hitting save. Once you hit save, your changes will populate right here. Got some other fields here that your liaison will update for you. Your president and your provost or chief academic officer, those are editable fields. Again, reason being is because if your president changes, that doesn't have any bearing on your accreditation standing. So let's change this here. Dr. Annie Price is retiring, and we are going to add Dr. John Post. And we're going to change their email address. And we've got that save button at the top or the bottom, either way. Scroll up or scroll down. So you can see it's up here at the top as well. And once we hit save, that change has been made. Your other contacts, so you do not have to have anyone listed here. These are, for lack of a better phrase, are in case of emergency people. So if we cannot reach the member lead, the member contributor, or the member observer, we're going to contact Helen Price and say, you know what, you had an IQAR due and we didn't receive one. So how can we help you get that finished? You can add contacts here. You can add up to 6, but again, you really shouldn't need too many. These are your emergency contacts that we would only ever reach out to if we were not able to get in touch with the lead, the contributor, or the observer. Your members only resources access. This is the members only resources page of the website, the ICBE website. This is where all of your accreditation documents are going to be housed. So your templates, tables, manuals, logos, guidebooks, OAP, template, all of those items are here. Your self-study materials are down here. So you are able to grant access to your faculty who do need access to that. This is not giving them any access in the Jetpack system, but if someone needs access to that members only resource, you can add them here. You can also delete them here. You would really only delete them if they are no longer working on accreditation activities or if they've left the institution. Finance contacts, as I stated, that's going to be on that contact change form. Reason being is because invoices and billing, it is very important that we have the correct information. So we want to make sure that we are always changing that for you. Again, we've got the link to change it, but if we need to reach someone in regard to an invoice, we're going to reach out to Teddy Baum. Again, you don't have to have someone listed here. Typically, your primary contact is the person that we will send the invoice to, and they'll be responsible for forwarding it along to the accounting personnel. But if you do want someone else CC'd on that email, make sure that you're updating the form so we can add them. And then finally, we've only got 1 year of dues here, but This is a nice feature. You can log in and see if that accounting personnel did make the payment to the invoice. This person here is unpaid, so we would be, if we notice that we go past December 15th and annual dues have not been paid yet, we're going to be reaching out to Teddy in order to get those paid. So I hope you find the system easy to use. One other item that I do want to draw your attention to, you can make changes to your profile. So we ask that you do not make changes to your email address because that will unfortunately kick you out of the system. If you do have a change in your email address, again, always go to that changes in contact form. But you are able to, if you change your name, if your title changes, you are able to change that there. One other important item here, your phone number. This should always be a cell phone number. This is going to be a cell phone that can reach you for a two-factor authentication if it's needed. So please make sure that when you're entering a phone number, it is not a landline. Make sure that it is a number that can receive text because that will be associated with your two-factor identification. You can also change your password here. You can also select do not ask them to enter their phone number. So for two-factor identification, you would receive an email. And again, most important thing is that we click save. Thank you so much. If you have questions, as always, please do reach out to the ICBE staff and we're happy to help.